Okay, before I can put the clutch centre on, I need to put the clutch push rod through. I need a new clutch push rod because the new one needs to be slightly longer than the old one. Because this is a different gearbox, the main sort of difference is this not exposed clutch lever, actuation lever, which pushes on the push rod. Well, there's a tube here with it's got the ball bearing in the bottom. You must have the ball bearing, obviously, because one end's spinning and the other one's not, and without a ball bearing it will just wear through the rod very quickly. So because of that, I've got a longer push rod. Okay, I've put the outer primary chain case cover on, having cut away so that I can now put the case on over the clutch, because before you had to put the case on and then the clutch. This is a total faff, and I can see why they did that back in the day. I think probably the main reason is there was that flange behind the clutch. It kind of reduced the amount of oil that went to the clutch, because of course it should be full of oil, which feeds the primary chains and the dynamo chain mainly, but you don't really actually want oil on the clutch plates. It causes them to slip, so that's why they separated it slightly. But of course we're running the primary chain case dry. What I've done is I've liberally sprayed the chains with chain lube and greased the shock absorber before I put the case on, and I'll be, and now I've got this casing as it is. I can take it off quite easily to re-lubricate everything, without too much trouble at all. So I'm pleased with that. I haven't actually fitted the clutch yet because I'm still waiting. I've got to get the special powder, not quite sure what's in it, that you use so I can case harden the end of the push rod, the clutch push rod, so it doesn't wear away. But now I've cut the chain case away, of course I can fit it as I have done, and I can do the clutch later, which is fabulous. I just have to fix the actual dome that goes over, that just screws on. I'll do that later on. So then I've roughly refitted the a rear brake pedal, which is a slight problem, this pedal, because it's not the correct pedal. And it works okay. The main problem is that when the clutch dome is on here, it's actually very close to the back of the lever here. So if you jam the brake on, what tends to happen is that this hits the dome and puts a dent in it, which is most annoying. Whereas if you adjust it, then so it doesn't hit the dome, then the rear wheel binds. The brakes bind, so then you slacken off the brakes and then it hits the dome. So it's a real juggling act. But I don't know anyone who's got a proper brake pedal. I don't know what this is off, but I know it's the wrong one. It works, but it's not the right one. It's just one of those things when, like I say, the bike is a Bitzer and someone got that from somewhere, which is great, but it's obviously not the right one. Okay. I'm trying and failing, I think, to case harden the end of the clutch push rod. So what I've got is this special case hardening powder. I'm not sure what's in it. Probably just sort of carbon. I don't know. Got it off the internet. I'm guessing it's just sort of carbon. I don't know. And I've got a pile of it on the vise, and what I need to do is heat the end up, which I have done at this end, up to cherry red. Where's the camera? Yeah. And then put it in the powder a few times and so on, and then end up quenching it. And I've got my blowtorch here. Now the problem I've got is I don't think the blowtorch isn't powerful enough to get the end cherry red. I don't think I can get the end hot enough. So that when I put it in the powder, I think the powder should sort of like stick to the rod, but it's not. I don't think it's hot enough. I'm going to give it a go. But this is the other end. I've sort of had a test of that far end first. There's a camera. I don't know if I'm on camera, probably. Try and remember from my GCSE metalwork the hottest part of the flame. I think that's the hottest part. So am I on camera? Sorry, it's difficult to see, but you'll probably see it's changing colour now. Just trying to see if I'm on bloody camera there. So that's good, but you know, it's changing colour, but I can't get it hot enough to go cherry red. There's too much dissipation of heat down the rod and not enough, you know, the blowtorch simply, you know, isn't that powerful. It's only a sort of, you know, general blowtorch. I need something that's probably got twice the heat of this. So it's getting the rod pretty hot, but not hot enough. You know, it should be glowing cherry red, and it certainly isn't. So then I put it in the carbon or whatever it is, and it doesn't really stick to it or anything. I think it's supposed to be hot enough that it sticks to it, and then you kind of melt it on. There's a bit of powder on there, but not much. Yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll try changing gas bottle. There's not much left in there, I don't think, and see if that gives me any more power. I'll put some carbon on there and then dip it. Ready? It's pretty hot, but not hot enough. Quench it. I'll get a new gas bottle, see how we get on. Okay, new gas bottle. Let's see if that works any better than the old one. Seems to be getting hotter than the other one anyway. Oh, I think it's beginning to glow a bit. It is. Oh, the cherry red is appearing. There we go. Yeah, stuck a bit there. Give it another go and then we'll quench it. Glowing away there. Oh, that's really glowing, yeah. Good. Okay. And then a quench. That's good, that's much better. I'll try, good. That might have given us some case hardening. Right. Well, hopefully we've got some case hardening at both ends of this clutch, new clutch push rod, such that it won't wear down drastically. I'm not sure. I've never tried to case harden anything before, and I'm not sure. I did a brilliant job there. I don't think we got it quite hot enough, even with the new gas cylinder, but hopefully it's added some strength to it. Right, I was going to cut this new rod down to length, because I thought it was something like 30 cent. I can't remember how long it is. But you know, they sold it in length, and this is the length that I bought it at. But it turns out that this is almost exactly the perfect length. Now I've checked everything. It doesn't need cutting down at all. It's actually 13 inches, and it's just absolutely the perfect length from what I can gather. It's about an inch and a half longer, I think, than my original. The only downside is it's not the right diameter. It's very slightly smaller diameter. I think this is because, of course, it's metric, needless to say. It's the only one I could get. I'm not sure what effect that will have, you know. I think it'll be okay, but obviously it could just do with being that little thicker. A, so it won't bend, and B, so it can take the strain, and C, the case hardening, you know, the whole thing would be better if it was just a little bit thicker. But I think this will work, but we'll find out. Okay, we've just put the clutch push rod in. We got the clutch pressure plate or outer plate. I've liberally greased the centre where the push rod goes in. I'm just going to slide it on, making sure that the push rod has engaged. There we are. Okay. And then, much like many motorcycles, I've got that wrong straight away. Look at that. Need to put the cups in first. I'd say it's a classic motorcycle multi-plate clutch used by Triumph and many others. Cups and springs. And then the screw ends, which screw into the onto those studs. So big wide screwdriver, push it in until the thread engages. There we go. Now, what I normally do is I screw these down until the head, the bolt, the stud is just showing through the top of this sort of strange screw nut affair. You can buy a special tool, which I used to have one, but I've lost it somewhere along the way. It's a Triumph, I think they call it, you know, a sort of clutch tension screw tool or something, and it's shaped a bit like that, and so the prongs go either side of the stud, and so it allows you to screw these in a little bit further if you think your clutch is slipping or whatever. So it makes the clutch that bit tighter. The only good news so far with my clutch is that it's never shown signs of slipping, although of course I have just upped the gearing and that might put more pressure on it. So I just screw these down until the heads of that stud is just showing through, and that seems to be fine. I've got the big thing I've got to do now is to fit the clutch cable and to try and get the tension right so the clutch works, but it's going to be a real trial and error, because all I've got is the old clutch cable, which is totally different in many ways to the one that's on there, you know, the clutch cable I'm going to need. So I'm going to have to try and adapt this and cut it down on one thing or another. Hope I'll get it right. And so anyway, I'm leaving that off until I've tried to get the clutch cable fitted and make sure that everything's working. So after much fiddling, I think I've got the clutch cable fitted. I had to cut off the adjuster, which was a very sad thing to do, but I couldn't get it off over the nipple, and I didn't want to cut the nipple off because I'd never get one soldered on. I know that if I soldered a nipple on, I'd never get it, and it'd just pull off. You know, I'd never soldered one on successfully. So I had to cut the adjuster off because there's already an inbuilt adjuster, you know, in the gearbox. And it seems to work fine. We'll see. There we are. On releasing clutch, and I've kicked it over. I've turned the engine over on the kickstart, and everything seems to go well. So all seems good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the dome cover back over the clutch, but it's only like 6 screws, is it, something like that. I want to take it off again, but with any luck we have a working clutch. Right, and there we are. Clutch dome is on. So the kind of primary chain case is now finished, almost, because that accident that broke the gearbox is a gift that keeps on giving, because I've just discovered another piece of damage that I didn't know had happened before. I just put the dome on, and then I don't know if the camera's picking it up. I thought, what's this? What's this here? And look at that. There's a line there, and what it is, that's where on the inside the primary chain snap wrapped itself around, and it's it's pushed out from the inside, and it's created that sort of, it's a dent from the inside. So it should be a nice round dome, and instead we've got that line there. So what I'm going to do is, in this case, take the dome off, turn it round. There is actually a slight, believe it or not, there's a drain hole at the bottom, in case there was too much oil in the chain case. In case there weren't enough leaks, they actually drilled a hole in the bottom just to make sure it leaked. So obviously I'm running the clutch, the chain case dry, so it doesn't matter. So I'll turn it around a bit. So there'll be a hole somewhere, it doesn't matter, like a drain hole. So put that crease at the bottom. Yeah, oh dear, so I hadn't noticed that before. So anyone put it on, I thought, what's that? Oh well, it's a gift that keeps on giving, that. Ah dear, it was a bad do with that dynamo chain and that snapping. Dear me. Anyway, apart from taking that off and moving it around a bit, we're done on the primary chain case.